You know, for most of us, a cup of tea is, well, it's just a simple, comforting drink, right? But what if I told you that in Japan, preparing and serving tea is actually this incredibly deep spiritual practice? We're talking about something called chado, or the way of tea. And trust me, it's so much more than just a beverage. It's a whole journey into discipline, harmony, and a really unique way of looking at life. So let's get into it.
And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Is this just a cup of tea, or is it a whole philosophy for how to live? As we're going to see, literally every single element, from the garden path you walk on to the tea house itself, even down to the whisk, it's all intentional. Nothing is there by accident. It's all packed with meaning.
So the official name for this is chado, which literally translates to the way of tea. And that word way is so important. They call it a comprehensive art form. And for good reason. This is not about following a recipe. Think of it more like a performance, a dance that brings together hospitality, art, and incredible mental focus, all into one single, beautiful act. All right, so our first section, more than just tea. Okay, if it's not just about the drink, then what is it about? Well, to get that, we've got to look beyond the cup and figure out what the whole ceremony is actually trying to accomplish.
Now, this might sound a little strange, but the first thing you have to realize is that the taste of the tea, it's not really the main point. The real goal is about what's happening inside you. It's a way to cultivate some really deep qualities. We're talking about mental discipline, about creating this sense of harmony with the natural world and appreciating the changing seasons. It's about forging a real, sincere connection with the people you're with. And maybe most importantly, it's about learning to find this incredible beauty in the simplest thing.
Okay, section 2, the sacred space. So, how do you actually cultivate all that inner harmony and focus? Well, you have to start by creating a physical space that actually helps you get there. And that's why the whole journey of chado begins way before you even lay eyes on the tea house. It all starts on what's called the roji, which is this beautiful, often mossy garden path that leads up to the tea house. But this is so much more than just a walkway. Think of it as a bridge, a portal. As you walk along the stones, you're meant to be symbolically washing away all the dust and the stress of the outside world. You're literally leaving your everyday life behind to prepare your mind for what's about to happen. And then, at the end of that path, you finally arrive at the choshitsu, the tea house. Now, you might be picturing something big and fancy, but it's the exact opposite. It's designed to be incredibly simple, rustic, kind of small. But there's one thing that would immediately catch your eye: a very, very low entrance. I mean, it's so low you couldn't possibly walk through it standing up. So what's up with that?
Well, this is where it gets really brilliant. That low door forces everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a powerful samurai, a wealthy merchant, or just a regular person, to bow their head and crawl inside. It's a physical act of humility. It's a symbol that once you cross that threshold, all of your social status, your rank, your ego, it all gets left outside. Inside the tea house, everyone is equal. And that right there is the embodiment of a core principle called K, which means respect.
Part 3, the mindful procedure. Okay, so we've walked the garden path, we've crawled into this little room of equality. So, what happens now? Now we get to the heart of it all, the mindful procedure, this incredibly graceful and deliberate performance that is the ceremony itself.
This whole procedure has a name. It's called otame, and it's basically the host's performance of preparing and serving the tea. But I mean, every single movement is part of it. The way they fold a silk cloth, the way they ladle the water, the way they whisk the matcha, it's all precise, it's deliberate, and it's been perfected over hundreds of years. The beauty here isn't about being fast. It's about the host's absolute total focus and the sincere respect they're showing to their guest.
Now, it might seem super complex, but you can really boil the whole thing down to 3 essential stages. First, the host purifies the tools, which is also a way of symbolizing purifying the mind. Then they prepare the tea, giving it their complete and undivided attention. And finally, they serve it with that deep, sincere respect we've been talking about. So you see, purity, focus, and respect. It's all woven right into the actions themselves.
And get this, the tools themselves, which are called chadogu, are a huge part of the experience. Nothing is chosen at random. The tea bowl, the scoop, the water container, even the single flower in the vase. The host carefully picks everything to reflect the current season. So in the spring, you might drink from a bowl with a cherry blossom design. In the fall, it might have maple leaves. It's this incredible attention to detail that makes every single tea gathering a unique celebration of that one specific moment in time. Okay, section 4, the philosophy within.
This is where we get to the real heart of it all. We've seen the physical space, we've talked about the actions, but why? What are the big ideas that give every bowl, every bow, every single movement its deeper meaning?
There are really two central philosophies that are kind of like the operating system for the entire ceremony. If you can grasp these two ideas, you'll understand everything. The first is called jaku, and the second is ichigo. Seriously, these are the keys to the whole thing.
So that first one, jaku, is actually 4 principles rolled into one. First up is wa, which means harmony. You see that in the way this simple tea house just blends perfectly into the natural garden. Next is ke, respect. Remember that super low entrance? That's ke in action. Then you have sei, or purity, which is symbolized by the cleaning of the tools, but it's also about having a clear, pure mind. And finally, there's jaku, which means tranquility, that quiet, calm feeling you get in the simple, peaceful tea house. See how it all connects?
All right, now for that second core concept. And honestly, this one is it's beautiful. It's ichigo ichie. The direct translation is one time, one meeting. What it means is that this specific encounter with these specific people in this room at this exact moment, it's a once-in-a-lifetime event. It will never, ever happen again in precisely the same way.
Just think about that for a second. The implication of that idea is it's huge. It changes the tea ceremony from just some routine into this precious, unrepeatable experience. It's a powerful reminder for both the host and the guest to be completely present, to really treasure this moment, and to treat each other with the absolute greatest sincerity. Because this moment right here, it's all there is.
Section 5, a lasting legacy. So now that we've kind of get the philosophy behind it, let's zoom out a bit. Where did all this even come from? And maybe more importantly, why does it still matter so much today?
Well, the story starts way back in the 12th century. Tea actually came to Japan from China, and at first it was mainly used by Zen monks. But the ceremony, as we know it today, was really perfected in the 16th century by this legendary tea master, a guy named Sen no Rikyū. He's the one who really championed this simple, rustic style, saying it's about inner spirit, not about showing off expensive things. And today, his legacy has gone global. It's practiced all over the world as this incredible form of mindfulness.
And don't think for a second that this is just some ancient tradition locked away in a museum. In Japan today, Chado is actually taught in schools to help instill discipline and respect. It's even used in corporate training to teach things like focus and attention to detail. It's really become this amazing, accessible tool for anyone out there who's looking for a bit of mindfulness or just wants to connect with Japanese culture on a deeper level.
You know, there's a saying that I think sums it all up perfectly. It goes something like this. If life is a long journey, the tea ceremony is an oasis. It's a place where we can just pause for a moment, wash away all the dust from the road, share a unique moment with someone, and then continue on. It's a beautiful reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is just be still. So that really leaves us with one final thought, and it's for you. You don't need a special tea house or a bamboo whisk to bring this spirit into your life. That core idea, ichigo, is completely universal. So the question is, how can you create a moment of one time, one meeting in your own life today? Maybe it's in a conversation you have, or just sharing a simple meal. How can you treat it like the precious, unrepeatable encounter that it truly is? Definitely something to think about.